What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Yarnum FM. I am Marcus, and I will be your hunter today, and we are going to take care of some NPC stuff that we cannot do if we wait. Like, this is our last chance to get one specific dialogue, actually two specific dialogues, and we're going to go ahead and do those now. Now, this first one involves a lot of loading that I'm going to cut out. I have got to use Iosefka's blood vial, because you can only have one in your inventory, and then I'm going to go back to Iosefka, and I'm going to get another one, and then I'm going to use it, and then I have to reload the area and go back to her and get another one, and repeat that process a few times. I'll cut out the loading, and you guys are just going to kind of see the end result.
You're safe. Thank goodness. But I'm afraid nothing will change. I cannot open the door. I'll do what I can, of course. Perhaps this will help you, if only in some small way. Now go. I pray for your safety. Are you still in need of something? But I have nothing more to offer. Please, try to understand my position. I can only pray for a fruitful hunt. You're safe, thank goodness, but I'm afraid nothing will change. I'll do what I can, of course. Perhaps this will help you. Now go, I pray. You are safe, thank goodness. But I'm afraid nothing will change my mind. I cannot open the door. I'll do what I can, of course. Perhaps this will help you, if only in some small way. This night is long, but morning always comes. Someone of your caliber won't fail us, I am certain. And once the night of the hunt ends, we can speak face to face. Then I can finally see what you look like. I shouldn't be thinking this, but I am rather looking forward to it. So please, be careful out there.
Iosefka best waifu.
I'm sorry. I have nothing else to offer you. I will pray for your safety. May light shine upon this night and your fortunes.
Alright, so that was kind of long and involved, but like I said, you have to receive a certain number of these Iosefka's blood vials from her in order to get that dialogue. And this is really kind of one of your last chances to actually get it, so we needed to do it now. Alright, we also picked up the Sword Hunter badge last time, and that's going to unlock some new stuff for us. We can get this hand lantern now. They're not great, but there's no reason not to have one too. I'll show that in just a second. Antidotes will be very useful. Let's see. The Hunter Chief emblem, a cloth emblem that belonged to the captain of the church hunters long ago, opens the main gate that leads to the round plaza of the great cathedral. The main gate is shut tight on nights of the hunt, and could only be opened from the other side with this emblem. In other words, the captain's return and this emblem determine the end of the hunt. This and the Kirk Hammer. Kirk Hammer, good strength weapon, but if you make it fire by putting a fire gem in it, there's some really nasty stuff you can do with oil urns and charged R2s with this weapon. So it also works with arcane. On the one side, an easily handled silver sword. On the other, a giant obtuse stone weapon characterized by a blunt strike and extreme force of impact. The church takes a heavy-handed, merciless stance toward the plague of beasts, an irony not lost upon the wielders of this most symbolic weapon. The best thing that we unlock with that, though, is probably this repeating pistol. It shoots 2 quicksilver bullets at once, so it does actually take 2 quicksilver bullets to use it, but it does better damage than the other pistols, and I actually really like this weapon, and I'm debating whether or not I want to buy this right now. You know what? Nah, we don't even meet the requirements, so I just noticed it's got a higher strength requirement than what I have available right now. We'll probably fix that later, but one more thing I wanted to point out too is that Ludwig, the first hunter of the Healing Church, once recruited Yharnamites to serve as hunters. We talked about that before, but that means that at one point the Healing Church was trying to hunt by themselves, and then they had to start recruiting the masses. I thought that's an interesting detail. Let's level up, and then we will go talk to Gilbert and get one more dialogue that we really need to access now if we're going to get it. Yeah, we'll go 15, 15, 15. That's good.
Farewell, good may you.
I'm thinking about actually going with... Hold on. Put the tiny music box and some throwing knives. This is what I'm going to use. I'm thinking about actually going with a little bit of arcane on this build. See if is Gehrman still sleeping out here? Or is he just gone right now? He disappears from time to time. He'll be back. And we'll put the torch, or not the torch, the hand lantern we'll put here. Despite being called a hand lantern, when you use it, you get this little guy on your belt that glows, kind of similar to the All Guide of Souls from Demon Souls. And it's always active, and there's no reason not to use it. So, it's not really particularly useful. It gives off less light than the torch does. But let's go talk to Gilbert and get that dialogue that we need to get now.
Yes, I see. But the Great Bridge is the only way to the Cathedral Ward. And during the hunt, the bridge is closed. You could try the aqueduct. There's a rather, how shall I put it, colourful area south of the Great Bridge. From there, an aqueduct leads to the Cathedral Ward. Not a place you'd normally want to visit, but I don't imagine you have much of a choice, do you? An aqueduct leads from the town south of the main bridge to the Cathedral Ward. Not a place you'd normally choose to visit, but not much of a choice with the bridge closed.
Alright, so he's referring to the place we've already been. That's the southernmost bridge that you can access via the aqueduct. So this is east towards the Cathedral Ward, and this is south towards the aqueduct, which makes this north, and it means Central Yharnam's over here on the western side. So now that we've gotten that dialogue, we can go ahead and clear this area. We really needed to get it after defeating Cleric Beast, but before fighting the final boss of this area. We'll skip the big guys down there and instead take the shortcut through this house and of course get our free bullets. Why not get our free bullets? Actually, I probably should have made blood bullets and used the regun on that guy. Oh well. Oh. Right down here. We already activated this elevator earlier. So if you haven't been following along and you just started watching on this video and you're wondering, we've already unlocked this shortcut before. Alright, now for the church's final, or not the church, but the hunter's final trap here. We could go down, go back through the bore tunnel again, and then go that way, but let's just do it like this. Watch that torch in the background. There it goes. Here comes the ball. They do give you that visual cue of that torch in the background. Once he moves it, he lights the ball on fire, and then the guy punches it down. They work as a team, in tandem. Very good stuff. Good teamwork, guys. That's enough of you. Alright, now let's make some blood bullets and see if this... And we got most of it back. But most is not enough for me. I told you guys I use blood vials like a junkie. Like a yarnamite. I use them like a yarnamite, man. Look, and it's getting to me. It's getting to me. I need it. I need the blood. Won't be long before I'm a beast myself. Watch the shockwave on this. Well, it didn't actually do it properly. Oh, shit. I'm glad I topped myself off. Oh, shit. No. Whoa. That sucked. Missing a parry. And screw you up real quick against those guys. Give me my vials. Alright, we're good now. And we get a bold hunter's mark and go ahead and top myself off. So yeah, the difference between dying and not dying sometimes is like 10-15% of your HP. I recommend staying topped off as much as you possibly can. Alright, oh man. I hate having to fight this boss for a variety of reasons. But we gotta do what we gotta do. We got our tiny music box equipped, and we got some throwaway knives. Let's do it.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
It's Father Gascoigne. You noticed his protruding canine teeth back there. And you'll remember his name from the music box. By far, the most annoying part of the Gascoigne fight is his gun. If you stay close and be ready to dodge towards him, you can often avoid it. He has trouble hitting you with it in that situation. If you need to heal, get behind a tree so that he can't shoot you. You can parry Gascoigne. And when you get him down a little bit low, he's gonna start trying to transform his weapon. Staying close to him like this, he has a hard time shooting you, and you can just use regain to get health back if he does. Oh shit. When he transforms, play the tiny music box. Oh no. Oh no, this sucks. I was trying to get a backstab on him by using the tiny music box, but he had his back against the wall. I fucked that up. Oh, good to know. Don't think it'll work again. I think you get one shot with that music box. He's very aggressive, so if you screw up your chance to backstab him there, be ready to run. That's why I brought throwing knives, though. Also, he will occasionally roar at you. And that's a good chance to hit him. He's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. If I remember right, you can still parry him in that phase. But he attacks so aggressively that it's not necessarily the best strategy. The best tactic to use, and I failed to demonstrate it, I apologize, I had him too close to the fence, I was being too aggressive. If you have him, if he transforms in a location like this, somewhere where you can just get behind him, as soon as you see him start glowing to transform, you back off, play the tiny music box, and then while he's staggered from the tiny music box, you get behind him, do a backstab, land a visceral attack, and it's going to take off almost all of his health, and then while he's standing up, you can just pop him with a couple throwing knives and kill him. It works really, really well. The one flaw that I never realized is that if you have him transform next to the fucking fence where you can't get behind him, it can be a problem. So be warned about that. You learned that at the same time I did. Normally, I've never had that happen before. I normally have him transform in an area where I can get behind him. So, from a story perspective, we just killed that little girl's father. Which is bad enough. But it still leaves the mystery of the little girl's mother. And that is a female corpse. So yeah. A woman's bright red brooch engraved with the name Viola. Perhaps this jewel is a gift from a hunter. Alright, so we killed her father, who had apparently just killed her mother, and she is now an orphan. And we are faced with a very difficult decision of what to do, because we have this brooch that she's looking for because she's scared and she's alone on the night of the hunt, and she wants her mother, but her mother's dead. And if we bring this brooch back to her, she's gonna know that her mother's dead, and probably have a hunch that her father is not gonna be making it back either. So we have the choice of what we're gonna do, if we're gonna give this brooch to her or not. So we need to think very carefully about that decision. And also, ooh, lore! The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. So that's our first mention of Bergenworth and its rituals, and also the lost master. It's good information. This is a very valuable item, not very well hidden at all, but this is the blood gem workshop tool, so now we can add blood gems to our weapon. We don't actually have one yet, but we could get one from using this brooch. We could steal the little girl's dead mother's brooch and use it as a gem. Alright. Welcome to Cathedral Ward. First, let's check out, we just got this Uden tome key, and I know the pronunciation Uden sounds like terrible, but you're going to see why I'm saying it like that in a minute. Beyond the tomb, Uden Chapel can be found in the center of the Cathedral Ward. Only today the church is abandoned, and some say that the residents of Uden have all gone mad.
Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, I tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Uden Chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, so first of all, little bit of real talk here. That guy over there is really creepy. But there's a couple of things we can really take from that conversation that we just had. First of all, strongly suspect that this individual is blind because they didn't know we were there until they smelled us. And that's another interesting point, is that they said that the incense masked our scent. And we've already had the little girl say she recognizes the smell, recognizes our smell, the smell of a hunter. And also this incense is, as we've talked about before, it's warding off the beasts, and this is actually where this information comes from. So this is all really interesting. Now, also, this conversation has unlocked this Uden Chapel as a rescue point, a sanctuary where we can send NPCs that may need to be rescued. But this guy...
I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Uden Chapel, if they seem worth being told, that is. Oh, and I do sincerely hope they are.
Whether or not you choose to trust this individual is up to you. I say this individual, I keep saying this guy, could be a girl, I have no idea, it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, so this is now a rescue point. But whether or not you actually want to send people here, that is going to have to be up to you. Alright, we're back here now. Let's go ahead and level up with our Gascoigne souls.
Welcome. What is?
Or blood echoes, excuse me. I'm going to be doing that till the end of fucking time. Probably take the damage. I'm thinking about actually going with some Arcane later. Arcane also has the very helpful secondary side effect of increasing your discovery, your drop chance. I don't know why they tied that to a stat. I really wish they hadn't. But they did, so that's is what it is. But we're going to just take the skill for now and just go ahead and get a little extra bit of damage.
Over time, countless hunters have visited this stream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now. Over time, farewell. May you find your worth in the waking world.
So that's some interesting tidbit right there. These graves stand in memory of the hunters who visited the dream before. Let's see what Gehrman has to say.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion. Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge. Home now only to beasts. The perfect place for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
All right, so first of all, we heard about the holy chalices, and that's a whole big lore thing that we're going to get into later. But the next thing, he talked about the valley hamlet. Gilbert also mentioned the valley, and we looked down and saw where that is. So that's where the location he's talking about. And we've also had some hints as to what that location might be. I don't actually have any freaking Molotovs on me right now. There we go. Since the tragedy that struck Old Yarnum, fire has become a staple in beast hunts. We've had a couple of hints that this valley hamlet is the old part of the city of Yarnum, and indeed that's what it is, and we'll be heading there soon.
One of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet, a town of beasts, the perfect place for a hunter.
From one perspective, I really want to admire the ambiguity of that dialogue. A town of beasts is the perfect place for a hunter. Like, because hunters hunt beasts? Or is there another reason? Like, it's really, really good. But also, note that we have 9 insight. We used one madman's knowledge item, and we've seen and defeated 2 bosses, and it's got us with 9 insight. There's an insight shop here, but there's no messengers. We just need to use 1 more madman's knowledge, and there you go. So you have to have 10 insight for this shop to ever open up. They give you just enough in the first area to do it. And here are your co-op items. If you want to help other hunters, then you need the small resonant bell. 1 insight, unlimited use, no reason not to get it. And the sinister resonant bell is for invading. The object of dark thoughts. But also, in the insight shop, you can get Gascoigne stuff because we've defeated him. Similar to the hunter garb created at the workshop, only these are tainted by a pungent beastly stench that eats away at Gascoigne's scent, is once again being something very important to the story so far. Like, people are recognizing us as a hunter by our scent. The incense masks our scent. The smell of the incense wards off the beasts. Gascoigne is being tainted by this scent. We know there are these blood cocktails that have a strong odor that attracts beasts. So the senses are very important, and particularly scent. Let's go ahead and buy his stuff here. There's also this other lore on this. The dingy scarf is a holy shawl and symbol of the healing church, from which Gascoigne would eventually part ways. Father is a title used for clerics in a foreign land, and there is no such rank in the healing church. And we're going to go ahead and buy that. One more thing I want you to be aware of is that if you come here and you shop with your insight and you end up with less than 10, then when you leave, shop closes. So you won't be able to make any more purchases. So that's just a beware situation there. Now, before we move on to Cathedral Ward, let's revisit Central Yarnum one more time and do some rescues.
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, If you find any survivors, tell them to seek Iosefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well, off you go then.
What's up with Iosefka, right? I mean, in the first place, she knows we've been hunting. We've got a relationship with Iosefka. We've talked to her several times. She knows we're a hunter. She doesn't have to say off to hunt, I presume. Yeah, of course we're hunting. You already know that, Iosefka. And beyond that, she's asking us to send survivors now. And she's apparently going to open the door and let them in and treat them. Whereas before, she was very adamant about not opening the door. Another thing I want you to look at, this is the reason I pointed this out earlier. I want you to look at Iosefka's hand. And she is now holding a weapon. Whereas she was not before.
If you find anyone who's still human, send them straight to Iosefka's clinic. You can assure them there's no place safer. Please, do me this service.
So, something has changed with Iosefka. Not really sure what it is at this point, but I'm sure it will become clear as we continue. So, I wanted to point that out. Another thing, that now opens up Iosefka's clinic as the second rescue point. So, now we are able to send survivors either to the clinic or to the chapel. And those are our two options. And they both work, so... Oh, wait. Make sure those guys didn't hear me. Let me see if I can... Hey. These guys occasionally drop blood gems. I was gonna see if I could get a freebie. Oh man, I am so good. I am so good. So physical attack up plus 1.1%. We'll put that on our saw spear real soon. Real quick. That's great, man. That's great, dude. We got a freebie. And let's just run through here. In case you've been having trouble. Oh shit. Oh shit. Know that you can do this. A little bit easier if you catch them before when they're all spread out. Woo, that was close. Have a nice little jog. Trying not to get shot. They shoot on pretty regular intervals. You want to keep following me? You left your buddies. Should not oughta have left your buddies. Thanks for the Molotov. Alright. Now we're just gonna use this. Well, first, I was gonna use that shortcut, but first, let's step over here and handle this. It's decision time.
Hello, Mr. Hunter. Still can't find my mum.
I am not gonna drive this little girl to despair like this.
Oh, okay. I can wait. But isn't there something I can do? Maybe Mum and Dad are stuck out there, waiting for me to come and find them. What do you think, Mr. Hunter?
Now you have to make the decision for yourself. For me, I've got concerns about Iosefka, and I'm worried about this little girl going out and trying to find her parents on her own if I don't tell her anything. So instead, I'm gonna tell her about the chapel, even though that motherfucker is shady as shit. I'm gonna tell her about the chapel, but I warn you, there are consequences no matter what you choose, so you need to make your own decision here.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. I much as Mum and Dad. And Granddad. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. I love you almost as much as Mum and Dad. And Granddad.
Little girl breaks my heart, man. Alright. Now, let's...
So what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice, safe place.
To the chapel, ho!
Well, what do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with. Oh, enough with you. Trot along. Chop, chop.
Alright, we're going to use a bold hunter's mark. It works like a homeward bone. It's going to take us back to the lamp without costing us any souls. Not being able to warp directly to where you want to go is a pretty big problem, given the loading time issues in this game. On the one hand, from a design perspective, I totally understand them not wanting to let you just warp from place to place and to make you go back to the hub. But honestly, I don't like the hub here as much as I like the Nexus from Demon Souls, and it's just kind of lifeless by comparison. And the other aspect is, since the loading times are so bad that, I don't know, it's kind of tough. But here's the old lady that we rescued. Bitch.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say. This whole mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. You put it to the outsiders. Our blood's ruined, tainted by your ilk. Don't you come near me. I know your type.
Yeah, old biddy.
You. Stay away from me. I know all your tricks.
Alright then. So we rescued the old woman, hooray for us, but can't help but notice that the little girl is not here. Hey, have you seen the little girl?
Ah, the hunter. Thank you. So that old girl, you told her about this place, right? Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still, I'd rather see her alive anyhow.
Alright, that's the old girl. He's talking about that old woman over there, and she is not much of a conversationalist, is she?
If you find any sane survivors, well, send them along to Erden Chapel, will ya?
Nothing about little girl. Hold on now. Let's go back and check on her. Because she was supposed to make her way here too. And she's not here. And that's not good. So let's go over this way. This is back the Tomb of Odin. Odin. Reminds me of the Swedish chef character from the Muppets. Birdie, 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 flip, 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 bird. No offense to my Swedish friends. That's just a character from a TV show. It's not me, man. It's not me. You. Oh my god. This motherfucker right here. Get wrecked. And give me blood vials. Ooh, a bloodstone shard. Let's not deal with all these guys. Instead, let's just go down. He wiped them out for us, didn't he? Let's go down here. Well, that guy's gonna follow us. I guess he can't, because he got a shield, huh? Now, I've heard people calling this pig EpicNameBro. I don't think so. There's a scythe guy much later in the game that I thought was a much more appropriate choice, but, you know, it's all good. Porcine proctal exam! You like that shampoo? Red ribbon that messengers are oddly fond of. The thick, pungent red was drawn from the organs of some unfortunate victim. A strange choice indeed, but perhaps for the messengers wearing this accessory constitutes a form of mourning. Yes, this is the little girl's ribbon. She wears a white ribbon, and if you send her to the chapel, it is stained red with her entrails. This game is very dark. Honestly, at points, this game is too dark for me, to be perfectly honest. Like, I don't mind it, but I like to have some bright points here and there too. And I would really have liked to have been able to save that little girl, but in any case, you should check for yourself and try sending her to the clinic, or try withholding the information, or try doing something else, and see what you can do with the little girl. Oh man, let's go back to the dream one more time. That's gonna wrap up this episode of Yharnam FM, and next time we'll put some blood gems in our weapon, and we'll move on to the Cathedral Ward, and hope that we can give some of these characters a happier ending than we've unfortunately given this poor little girl. So here's a one gun salute in her memory, and I'll catch you guys later.